What's up guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jesus Martinez and I'm a San Diego creator trying to go full-time. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow the journey. It's been raining so freaking much here in San Diego, guys, and it's kind of getting hard to go out and shoot. We wanted to go make some photos, but this weather is just holding me back. I got really sick last time I was shooting out in the rain, so I might have to gamble it and just go out there and do it, you know. It actually snowed about a week ago by Julian. That would have been an amazing opportunity to make some great photos, but I missed it. I was too busy. You know, I work full-time and sometimes it kind of gets hard, but next time, I don't care. I'm calling out. I'm just gonna go out there and get some great photos. So today I wanted to make a Lightroom tutorial. Somebody commented on my last video that I should make this and I've been thinking about doing it. So I figured, rain outside, comfortable home, Lightroom tutorial. Yeah, that makes sense. So I have two photos that I wanted to edit. I wanted to show you guys how I play with the colors. The first one I took in Guanajuato and it is a view of the city, and I really love this image. I actually framed it in my house right now, but I played around with the colors on it. I made a lot of teal and orange to make those pop up a lot, and you'll see in the edit before and after. I also have another edit that I took about a couple weeks back when I went down to Ensenada. I did it on my last video, where I actually shot this on the T3i and I wanted to make an edit on it, which it was pretty simple. I didn't have to go that much into it because I am shooting Canon already out of the camera. Thank God it makes some great photos. So that's pretty much what's stopping me right now from Sony and that huge dilemma of switching cameras, but that's for another video. So today I wanted to show you guys how I edit my photos and my thinking process of how it works. Now, first off, I just want to put it out there and say it. It doesn't matter how you edit. There's no right or wrong way. If you like crazy saturation, crazy contrast, it's right. There's no right or wrong way where you edit, how you edit. Don't listen to anybody that tells you different. Yeah, there is a thin line between what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Everyone's art is art. If you make it and call it art, it is art. That's it. So let's jump into it. All right guys, so let's just get started with this. These are two photos I took. This one is from Guanajuato. I took this with my 80D and I took this with my T3i in Ensenada. Both were shot in RAW. So let's just jump into it and let's get this edit going. So right here, the photo immediately, I always start from the top to bottom. I make sure that all of these are the way I like them in the photo, and then I go right into the colors to fix them up the way I want them to be. So first of all, I kind of see it too blue. I want to raise my temperature. The temperature will just make it hotter if you go towards a bigger number, and it'll make it colder, which will be kind of blue if you go down. The hotter makes it a little bit more orangey. So I kind of like it right around there. Looks pretty good. Raise up a bit the exposure. I feel like the shadows are way too dark, so I really want to raise those up a bit. Not too much. The highlights are very bright right in the lights right here, so I want to bring those down more. And you see it starts to bring out more color in the church. I'm gonna put a little bit more exposure. Maybe raise up the exposure a bit. Help out that shadows. And I think that's starting to look pretty good already. All right, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. I'm gonna go into the clarity. I don't really mess around with it that much, but I kind of gives a little HDR look. I don't go too crazy on it because then, yeah, just don't go too crazy with it. Tone curve, I usually use this if I just want a fade look. You just raise this part up with the shadows, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. So I like how it looks right here with the shadows and the highlights. I think it looks pretty well exposed image right here. Show you guys full screen. I think this is pretty good. I think actually now I feel like I need more contrast in it, but we'll work on that. So the orange, I want it to be very orange and very teal. So I'm gonna raise the saturation. I'm in the HSL slide right here in Lightroom. So raise up the saturation. You guys can see it's starting to pop up right there. There's a little bit more of that yellow because right here, we're gonna change that yellow into orange. There we go. That's starting to look more orangey. And that red, if I move that orange this way, it starts to look yellow, as you guys can see. So we wanted more orange. That looks way too red. So I'm just gonna put like a minus 3 looks pretty good. That blue, I want it to be more teal. So I'm just gonna go right into the hue and drop that into a little bit more of a teal blue. I want it a little bit more saturated, kind of overkill it with the blues. Now luminance, let's see, make it brighter. Yeah, make it brighter. The orange, I want it a little bit darker in the luminance just to get that more taste of that orange. Right there, I think I'm pretty happy with that actually. Maybe more on the orange, more saturation on the orange. Really want it to pop. So I like that, and I had noticed it was looking a little bit too dull, so I wanted more contrast. That'll be red. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. This image, I didn't have to straighten it. I actually shot this while it was on top of a wallet, a little box of matches that I found lying around there, and my lens cap, because I didn't have a tripod when I took this photo. And it actually came out straight, to my surprise. So this would be my final edit. And if you guys can see, you guys can totally see how I brought up the colors on the church. It looks way more orange, and the blues are starting to look teals. You can see right here the big difference, that dark blue and that teal now. So yeah guys, this is my workflow on this one. I printed this, I actually have it in my living room. This is one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. So next to it, we have this photo from the T3i, shot in RAW again. And this one, I was trying to get that photo of the bird, so my camera was sideways, front ways, back way. I was just turning it, twisting and turning it to get that freaking bird in there. So we went right here just to get it straightened up. Now I want it to look more like Sun City, so I'm going to raise the temperature more. That looks pretty good. Now the clouds, looks totally white, so I want to bring down those highlights to get more definition in the clouds. And this looks way too dark. And if I raise the exposure, I'm going to raise it back here. No point in bringing down the highlights, but I can go right into the shadows and lift up those right there. That's pretty good. Now I feel like it's too yellow, drop the yellow a bit. And as you guys can see, this is just a thinking process. You just have to play around with the image and you'll pretty much get what you're looking for. It's way easier once you know what you're doing, but when I started editing, I was just moving everything up and down to see what it was doing, and that's kind of how I learned. I mean, a couple YouTube here and there, but there you have it. So I already like how it's starting to look. Now I just want to get down into that hue and give it that final touch. So just like I love turning the blues into teals, and you can barely see it, that blue, so I'm going to raise the saturation on it right around there. Luminance also helps out with the blues, so I'm going to darken the blue out. You know, I think I'm starting to overkill it. That's the teal I'm looking for. All right, so saturation, let's make it a little bit more orangey. I love the freaking sunset look. Raise that luminance on it. And I like that. Now the greens, I want to desaturate them out the way. I don't like them when they look super green, so I like turning it a little bit into yellow. It looks kind of dead. It looks kind of cool. I like it. I like it. Look, that blue is starting to affect right here. The blue starting, that green is starting to affect right here. Nasty water. All right, I think I like that. Now I feel like it's too yellow, so I'm going to go down into saturation. Yeah, there we go. Those shadows are still kind of annoying me. I think that's it. So as you guys saw, like I mentioned, I go right from the basic editing options, the exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows. And once I have that to where I like it, I go down into the colors, edit those in. And I mean, you guys can see the huge difference here. Like, brought up the shadows here. You guys can see the detail in this. Those greens, that's very saturated, and this is a desaturated yellow green look. And that teal blue that I added into the sky. So that's pretty much my workflow, guys. All right, guys, so like I mentioned, don't let anybody discourage you. There's no right or wrong way to edit your photos. You know, your editing process and the way you like your images will keep changing with you as you progress with your photography. So again, don't let anybody discourage you. If I would show you guys my first images, you'd be like, what the? I did some crazy edits. I always thought that clarity was like the best thing ever and super contrasty images. But now I look at them like, and it'll be the same thing 5 years from now. I'm gonna be like, what the hell was I thinking doing that much teal in my images? You know, the styles changes, and that's good. That's how you progress. Again, guys, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel to see the future content, guys. Drop a comment if you guys have any questions. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.